Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're looking at walk-in tubs.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, and we've got some cool sources to work with today. We've got a website from a manufacturer. It's called MBTubs.
Okay.
And then we also have a YouTube video from Mobility Bathworks. And it's all about how to choose the right walk-in tub.
Cool.
But you know us, we're not going to stop at just like the basics of these tubs. We want to go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at what these tubs tell us about design and how we as a society think about aging in place.
I love that. I think it's fascinating how like a seemingly simple product can kind of open up all these bigger questions about
Absolutely.
accessibility and inclusivity.
For sure. Okay, so let's jump right in. We're going to start with that MBTubs website.
Okay.
And one of the first things that jumped out at me was their tagline. It says, helping people live with dignity and pride, one person at a time.
Wow.
I mean, is that marketing or what?
It's definitely like hitting on a strong emotional need, right? Like the desire to maintain independence as we age is so powerful.
Totally.
But beyond the marketing, like these tubs actually do offer some really practical solutions.
Okay.
So for example, they have the Elite 35-2 model.
Right.
And that one actually won an award from Consumer Digest.
Really?
Yeah, specifically for its low 3.5-foot threshold.
Okay, so that makes sense. Like you want a low entry point.
Right.
But wouldn't that also make the tub like shallower?
That's a great question.
Like how do they balance that need for accessibility with being able to actually enjoy a good soak?
Right. So that's where the manufacturers have to get creative.
Okay.
So some tubs have seats that are strategically placed so that even if the overall depth is less, you can still be comfortably immersed.
Interesting. So it's all about the design ingenuity.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of design, both sources really emphasized how customizable these tubs are. Like you can get different sizes, different features. There's a range of price points.
Yeah.
It really makes you realize that walk-in tubs are not one size fits all.
Exactly. And that's so crucial because everyone's needs are different.
Right.
And everyone's homes are different.
See,
so you can imagine, somebody with limited flexibility might need a higher seat. Or somebody with arthritis might want jets in specific places for like targeted pain relief.
Okay. Yeah.
So the customization allows the tub to adapt to the individual, not the other way around.
Yeah, it becomes more of a solution than just a product.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that the Mobility Bathworks video, they proudly stated that their tubs are made in the USA.
Okay.
So I was kind of wondering about that. Is that just like a marketing tactic?
Yeah.
Or does buying American actually mean you're getting a higher quality tub?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I mean, I think highlighting made in the USA could be a way to appeal to a certain consumer base. Sure. But you're right, it doesn't necessarily guarantee superior quality.
Right.
And there are definitely, comparable tubs made overseas. Okay. I think it's important to do your research and compare different manufacturers regardless of where they're located.
For sure. All right, let's move on to a feature that both sources highlighted, and that was hydrotherapy.
Okay.
Now the video really dives into all these therapeutic benefits. So it's not just about like, having a fancy bath, is it?
No, absolutely not. Hydrotherapy uses water for therapeutic purposes.
Okay.
So think about like warm water jets, massaging sore muscles, improving circulation, potentially even providing pain relief.
Oh, wow.
And there's actually a good amount of scientific research.
Really?
Yeah, backing up these benefits, especially for conditions like arthritis and back pain.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned universal design earlier.
Yeah.
And I think it would be helpful to define that term for our listeners.
Yeah, good point.
So what exactly does universal design mean?
Yeah, so universal design means creating products and environments that are usable by all people to the greatest extent possible without needing adaptation or specialized design.
Okay.
So you can think of things like ramps or lever-style door handles or even closed captioning on videos.
Okay.
These features benefit everyone, not just people with disabilities.
I got it. So would you say that like those safety features you see in walk-in tubs, like the non-slip floors, the sturdy hand holds,
absolutely,
are those also examples of universal design?
For sure. They benefit anyone regardless of their age or mobility.
Right. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Like anyone could slip getting out of the tub.
Exactly.
So it's just a smart design choice.
Yeah. Universal design is about anticipating needs and designing for inclusivity from the start.
I love that.
It's not about creating separate accessible products.
Right,
it's
yeah.
about making things that work better for everyone.
Yeah, proactive design.
Yeah.
Okay, now the video didn't shy away from some of the practicalities of actually installing one of these tubs.
Right.
And they mentioned things like plumbing, electrical work,
Yeah.
even making sure your water heater can handle filling up one of these larger tubs.
It's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
And potentially tricky.
Okay.
It's not just a simple swap for your existing tub.
Right.
You might have to upgrade your plumbing,
Uh-huh.
potentially boost your water heater capacity,
Okay.
maybe even some electrical work.
Got it. So I'm starting to see why professional installation is probably crucial.
Absolutely. It's not just about aesthetics.
Right.
It's about safety and making sure the tub functions properly for years to come.
Okay. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Cost.
Mm-hmm.
These tubs are not exactly cheap, are they?
They can be an investment.
Yeah. But the video did mention that you can find a high-quality tub without breaking the bank.
Right.
So what kind of advice did they give about getting good value for your money?
So they emphasize the importance of looking at the warranty,
Okay.
the materials used, the reputation of the manufacturer,
Mm-hmm.
and the quality of the installation.
Okay.
They also said it's worth, doing your research
Yeah.
and comparing options carefully.
Right, so you're not just jumping into the first one you see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And, it seems like these tubs are a significant investment,
Mm.
but I can see how the long-term value could really outweigh that initial cost,
Right.
especially if it helps someone avoid having to move into assisted living.
Exactly. Like if a walk-in tub allows someone to stay in their home longer,
Mm-hmm.
that could end up being more cost-effective in the long run.
For sure. And it's not just about the finances either.
Right.
It's about quality of life
Mhm.
and peace of mind for both the individual and their family.
Totally.
It's about creating a space where people can age comfortably
Right.
and safely.
In a familiar environment.
Exactly.
Now, it's interesting. We often think of walk-in tubs, for seniors. But couldn't someone recovering from an injury
Oh, absolutely.
or dealing with a chronic illness benefit from one of these tubs as well?
Yeah, for sure. And let's not forget about just the simple pleasure of a relaxing bath in.
Right.
Those therapeutic benefits of hydrotherapy can be enjoyed by anyone,
Yeah.
regardless of age or physical condition.
That's a good point. It's not just about addressing limitations.
Right.
It's also about enhancing well-being for anyone.
Exactly.
Now, the MBTubs website also mentions walk-in showers
Uh-huh.
and even regular bathtubs,
Yeah.
but with accessibility features.
Yeah, I think that speaks to a broader trend
Okay.
of incorporating these kinds of features into all sorts of products.
Right.
Making things more user-friendly for a wider range of people.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a positive shift toward a more inclusive approach to design.
I love that.
So instead of waiting for problems to arise,
Right.
designers are thinking ahead about how to make products adaptable to
Yeah.
people's changing needs as they age.
I'm really starting to see how these tubs represent like a shift in thinking
Yeah.
about how we design our homes and our communities to be more supportive of everybody.
For sure.
Now, the MBTubs website mentions something called smart therapy.
Okay.
And I don't know, I'm picturing like a high-tech, futuristic bathing experience.
So from the description, it sounds like smart therapy refers to the different hydrotherapy options they offer.
Oh.
So things like adjustable water jets,
Mm-hmm.
vibration therapy, and maybe even aromatherapy.
I'm curious about the aromatherapy aspect.
Yeah.
Does that offer like tangible benefits, or is it more about just creating a relaxing atmosphere?
Well, I think it can do both.
Okay.
Aromatherapy can have both physical and psychological effects.
Okay.
So certain scents can promote relaxation,
Uh-huh.
reduce stress, and even alleviate some types of pain.
Interesting.
So it's not just about creating a luxurious ambiance.
Right.
It can actually enhance the therapeutic benefits of the hydrotherapy.
So it's about finding the right combination of features that best suits your needs and preferences.
Yeah.
Now, the YouTube video also mentioned something that I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
It was about the time it takes to actually fill and drain the tub.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like a small detail, but I guess it makes a big difference when you're sitting there waiting.
Yeah, and they recommended looking for tubs that fill quickly, ideally within 5 minutes, and drain efficiently in about 3 minutes.
Okay, why is that so important?
Well, imagine you're struggling with arthritis
Right.
and trying to step over a high tub edge.
Yeah.
A low threshold could be the difference between being able to bathe independently
Right.
and having to rely on assistance.
Okay.
And if you're having to wait like an extended period of time for the tub to fill or drain, that could be uncomfortable or even, a safety risk.
That makes sense.
So it's definitely something to consider.
Okay. Now going back to cost for a second.
Yeah.
The video suggested thinking about the overall value proposition of the pub.
Right.
So how did they explain that idea?
So they pointed out that a higher price tag might come with a longer warranty,
Okay.
more durable materials, or even more advanced features that justify that added expense.
Okay.
So it's really about weighing that upfront cost against the long-term benefits.
Right.
And choosing a tub that aligns with your budget and your priorities.
So it's not just about finding the cheapest option.
Right.
It's about finding the best value.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's amazing how something like a bathtub can lead to this whole conversation about accessibility and inclusivity.
Yeah, it's really about thinking outside the box.
Right. And, I have to admit, before we started this deep dive, I thought walk-in tubs were kind of like a luxury item, but I've definitely changed my mind.
That's the power of digging deeper, right?
It is.
We've seen that these tubs aren't just about aesthetics. They represent like a real commitment to creating a more inclusive world.
Absolutely. And it makes you think, like, what other everyday products could benefit from this kind of design thinking?
Yeah.
I'm picturing everything from kitchen appliances to public transportation, being redesigned with these universal design principles.
It's an exciting thought.
It is.
Like, imagine a world where everything is designed to be usable by everyone.
Yeah.
Regardless of their, age ability.
Right. Any other factor.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back to our listeners for a minute.
Okay.
We've talked about safety features, hydrotherapy, that larger concept of universal design.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest takeaway from all of this?
I think for me, it's the reminder that good design isn't just about looks.
Right.
It's about solving problems and improving people's lives.
Yeah.
And walk-in tubs are a perfect example of that. They address a real need for accessibility and safety, but they also offer like a sense of dignity and independence.
Absolutely. Wow. And it's inspiring to see how these tubs are part of a larger movement towards creating a more inclusive world.
Yeah.
A world where everyone can live with dignity, no matter their physical abilities.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
What small changes can you make in your own life to promote accessibility and inclusivity? It could be something as simple as like advocating for better signage in your workplace.
Right.
Or being more mindful of the language we use when talking about disability.
It's about recognizing that everyone deserves to live in a world that is accessible and welcoming.
Yeah.
And we all have a role to play in making that happen.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the world of walk-in tubs and beyond.
It was a good one.
Yeah, this was great. We'll see you next time.